I was 35 when I walked into divorce court, prepared to surrender the house, the cars, and every piece of furniture my husband had spent months demanding. Ethan wanted my bookkeeping firm too. He wanted primary custody of Lily and Owen. Most of all, he wanted our town to watch me lose. His mother, Margaret, had already made sure everyone believed I was cold, greedy, and impossible to love. At church, women who once trusted me with their taxes stopped meeting my eyes. Ethan's girlfriend, Celeste Ward, began appearing beside him in public as if she had already inherited my life. The hardest moment came when Lily asked whether we would become homeless. I knelt beside her, met her eyes, and promised that whatever happened, she and Owen would have a home. I did not promise the old one. Outside the courtroom, my mother squeezed my hand and whispered, "Give them everything." 3 years earlier, Ethan's equipment venture had collapsed. I had quietly used business savings to cover his debts and protect his credit. He never forgave me for rescuing him. My competence became, in his mind, humiliation. Soon came the late nights, the hidden phone, and Celeste. I learned what they were planning when Ethan's screen lit up on our kitchen counter. Celeste's message was brief. Find out what her father left her. My father had left me $170,000 and a small parcel of land. He had also left me a green ledger and one rule: keep inherited money separate and traceable. I had obeyed him. The inheritance remained in an account bearing only my name. My firm, Hale Bookkeeping, had been formed before my marriage, with separate records and tax returns. My lawyer, Priya Shah, studied every document and said, "They can make this expensive, but they cannot take what never became marital property." Then I discovered Ethan had refinanced our home 4 months before filing for divorce. He drained the equity through a credit line and invested it in Celeste's failing property venture. He also signed a personal guarantee securing the business debt against himself and the house. The home they were fighting to win was worth less than the loans attached to it. Priya and I built our case from certified bank records, probate files, business registrations, tax returns, the refinance, the credit line, and Ethan's guarantee. Every fact lived on paper. Every dollar had a trail. That night, I opened my father's ledger and traced his faded handwriting. Separate, traceable. He had written those words after a partner cheated him. What I had mistaken for caution was love, built years before I needed protection. Ethan's cousin represented him and assumed I would fight emotionally for the house. Before the hearing, he offered to let me keep my smaller car if I signed over half my company. I refused. He needed my signature because the law would not give him what was mine. When the judge addressed the marital property, Ethan's lawyer launched into a speech about fairness. Priya rose calmly. "My client does not contest the house," she said. "She will transfer her interest, along with the vehicles, furnishings, and remaining joint assets." Ethan stared at me. Margaret smiled. Celeste, seated behind them, sat straighter. I signed. They thought exhaustion had broken me. I let them believe it. Then Priya submitted the certified history of my inheritance account. The judge reviewed it and ruled the money separate. Next came the formation records for Hale Bookkeeping. Separate again. Finally, Priya presented the appraisal, mortgage payoff, drained credit line, and Ethan's personal guarantee. The courtroom went silent. The house had no equity. Its debt exceeded its value. The investment had failed. Ethan had just accepted responsibility for the property and obligations he had fought so hard to obtain. His lawyer turned pale. Ethan grabbed the appraisal. Margaret stood and demanded to know how this had happened. Celeste rose without a word and walked toward the exit. I remained seated, hands folded. The judge then considered custody. The court-appointed evaluator described 2 very different parents. Ethan had promised horses, vacations, and a larger house. I had preserved school routines, medical appointments, soccer practices, bedtime, and stability. Primary custody went to me, with regular visitation for Ethan. Only then did I breathe. In the hallway, Margaret recovered enough composure to approach me. "Surely we can reconsider the house," she said. "For the children." I closed my hand around the worn brass key to my office. No, Margaret, I am keeping what I built. Ethan can keep what he demanded. 8 months later, the bank forced a short sale. Celeste disappeared before the first foreclosure notice arrived. Ethan's guarantee followed him into bankruptcy. I bought a smaller 3-bedroom house using my inheritance. Lily chose yellow walls. Owen claimed the backyard for a dog. I kept the office, the clients, and the name on the glass door. People still ask whether I lost everything in my divorce. I tell them the truth. I gave Ethan everything he fought for. He simply never calculated what winning would cost.